Hi, I'm Dawn Isenhower with Sibcy Cline Realtors, and welcome to Adventures in Real Estate Summer Podcast. My guest today is Dave Isenhower with Ike Property Group, who happens to be my husband as well. So we're standing in here at the latest rehab by Ike Property Group and TM Cooper Home Repair. Tom Cooper does a tremendous job on these for us. So just wanted to interview Dave and kind of see how he feels about his latest project and kind of get the ins and outs maybe of how this all works. So the first question I have is, how do you feel about your latest project?
Well, this one is great. It's probably the best one I think that we've done up to this point. We've had about 7 of them that we've, I think, turned over. This one was really tough because the market's been really tight. We've been unable to find anything that would be that we could purchase with any sort of profit margin in it. So we were pretty lucky to get this one. But yeah, it's turned out really well. Tom did a great job on the whole place. I mean, he's done everything top to bottom. I think the only thing that hasn't been replaced on this place is the furnace, which was already relatively new. And yeah, it's amazing. It's a wonder what he can do, and we're really appreciative of his work.
Inside and out, it looks absolutely beautiful. So what is involved in a project like this? I know that's a big question, large scope there, but just kind of condensing it down as much as you can. What are the steps involved in something like this and pulling it off?
Sure. Well, one is finding property, of course, and you've been a big help in doing that. So finding one that's got the right bones, the right solid structure that we can work with. Some properties we've looked at just haven't been candidates for rework because the expense in remodeling it would be too high. So finding the right property, getting always keeping an eye out for anything that could be coming up new, and then taking a look at properties and finding the things that we think we can work with that falls within the appropriate budget, what we estimate to be the after renovation value for the house, so we can make something on it. Thankfully, knock on beautiful concrete, we haven't lost any money on the rehab so far, but we just had to have some capital available in order to put in enough money down, and then have some financing available to put in the property. I take care of the carrying costs. Tom puts in the materials and construction labor, and then we just wait for that work to be completed, and then you put it on the market, and with your beautiful marketing,
just happening now.
Yeah,
right?
we usually attract a lot of potential buyers, thankfully, and we've been fortunate to come away with some profits on each of these jobs.
So what would you say to someone who's wanting to get into this? I just had someone message me this week, or actually last week, about potentially starting to get into the rehab business, and I gave him a few pointers. I told him I thought that the biggest thing that he needed to do was just to save up money.
Yeah, you're going to need capital to get started, unless you come up with some interesting financing options with the sellers, and I don't know that there are a whole lot of those outside of some of the more interesting models for acquiring properties. But you're going to need capital, and then you're going to need a good financing source for the rest of the capital you might need. Try to do as much as I can with the available capital I have, so I'll finance a good amount just so we have reserve capital so we can find another deal at the same time. We've had, I think, as many as 3 houses in progress all at once, which drained us pretty good for a while that it was being worked on. Those houses took up to a year to complete, a little over, I think, on a couple of those. So you have to be able to accommodate the expenses that come with holding the properties during that time. Obviously, and if you are rehabbing property, you also need capital to be able to complete the work, buy the materials, do all the labor, So you're gonna have to be very conscious of your capital, how much cash you have on hand, so that you don't run out and end up stuck in the middle of a project that you need to get out of.
That's true.
So yeah, this is probably the main things I can think of.
And another piece of advice is that if you're in a competitive situation, we have to gauge. When we're competitive, we really have to use cash. When people approach us privately, then we've been able to lean more on the financing component. So
Sure.
there are a lot of things to think about, and you really have the job of 3 people involved in all this. So if you have your plan in place and you have some money saved up both for purchasing and a means of repairing, then you're usually okay. So we're looking for the next one.
Yeah.
Gonna do it again. The market seems to be holding up for us and doing really well. So right now it's a decent time to go ahead and do this if you can make your money on the front end on the purchase. If you have to pay too much on the front end, then there's a tremendous risk on the back end of this right now. But for those properties we've been able to acquire, the money's really made on the front end every time. So, and we are looking for another one.
Sure.
So if you have any leads, if you know of anyone who doesn't want to jump through all the hoops with putting the house on the market and getting it done, you want a nice, easy, quick sale, not to be beaten over the head with inspections or having an extended closing time frame, just keep Ike Property Group in mind.
Yep.
And we'll be happy to take a look at the house. So any other thoughts before we leave today?
No, I think that's great. I think we'd like to maybe take a look at the place and see what else we can show the people about the kind of things we can do with homes. And yeah, thank you very much.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
We're going to take you on a tour of 727 Miles Lane. This is the most recent rehab for Ike Property Group and TM Cooper Home Repair. So we'll start off with our brand new door. It's really hard to believe this was once just a really shoppy, compartmentalized, basically 2 rectangles. So they went ahead and took out the wall between the 2 areas, between the living room and the kitchen. So we have a beautiful eating kitchen.
Right here was the wall.
Right there, and you can't even tell.
Yep.
Just turned this into a beautiful area. Obviously fresh paint, new flooring, trim doors, all of that, brand new appliances. Just really turned out beautifully because Tom always does such a fabulous job. Even made a nook for the TV to be mounted, which is great. Space in the tri-levels is, you want to maximize it, so that really maximizes the space and makes the living room much more open and spacious. Just did a great job on this all the way around, and that's not unusual for him. That is the norm. So we'll go upstairs and take a look and see what we've got. He did something really nice with this bathroom that I love. Nice new carpet. We'll hit this landing. You can see this beautiful bathroom. Completely new, everything new in there. Just really nicely done. New fixtures, new lighting throughout, new flooring. And if we go around through the bathroom, he actually opened up a door into the primary bedroom, which is pretty great. It turned out really nice. So you can access this bathroom through the hallway, or you can go ahead and close it off and actually access it through the bedroom, which is fantastic. I always refer to this as a California bedroom, not necessarily Jack and Jill, which goes from one bedroom to another, but it gives you that flexibility with the bathroom. The other bedrooms turned out great. Again, new trim, new doors, fresh paint. A lot of work went into this. So these bedrooms are just really fresh and clean and nice. Did a great job. So it's the same setup that you'd expect out of a tri-level of its age. Has some decent closet space. Just really turned out beautiful. So going downstairs, we have this really beautiful family room. Gas fireplace, everything brand new. It just smells like a new house in here. It's just gorgeous. Again, fresh paint, nice trim, new carpet. So this was one big family room and then one big space that was unfinished. So Tom did some really special things in here. Turned this into a study, which is fabulous. Nice little sliding door to separate this laundry room from the study. And the sink in that laundry room, the washer and dryer come with the house. The sink is fabulous. I'd love to have that sink in my own house, that utility sink. Did just an amazing job, as he always does. And then off the study also is just a beautiful full bath with a walk-in shower.
There was an attempt at a bathroom when we bought this place. It was maybe a quarter of that size in the corner. And Tom was very inventive in re-architecting this space to make it much more functional and beautiful with the lighting and the light colors down here. Doesn't feel like a basement type area at all.
Not like it did at all.
It's a great new addition to this.
And then he gave the mechanics their own space, which is always fabulous. So they don't feel like they're part of your basement. They're actually separate. Nice clean space for those. The water heater back there tucked away. I'll just show him off. So he came in and just completely made something that was old, where the materials were pretty much being rejected by the house. The flooring was coming up, and it was just kind of a dreary place, and he just really made it bright and beautiful and new. Just did a fabulous job on it. The backyard is a favorite of mine too, because it wasn't a place you'd necessarily want to be before. It wasn't the worst, but he just turned it, took the covered porch and just the covered patio and just turned it into something really sweet. It's just really, really nice. You can see yourself actually wanting to be out here, sitting on this huge patio. Made a couple of new steps coming down, which is great. And then the entire exterior of the house was painted too, just to freshen it up and make it feel nice. So, and this is a huge patio. Nice big backyard. Couple of sheds.
I think one of the appealing aspects is what a nice neighborhood this is.
It's really sweet.
It's not high end, let's say, but it's it's well kept.
It is.
And we went from being one of the eyesores on the block, I think, to matching some of the very nice homes that are on either side and up and down the street. So that's a big win for this property too. Probably something I should have added is finding a nice location when you're looking for these homes. Finding the worst house on the block if you can.
And turning it into
one of the better ones. Yes, exactly. So that'll really draw the people.
And the neighbors are super excited too, which is always a plus. They always kind of get into what's being done, and they're very supportive of it. So that's always a plus. So there you have it. There's the latest rehab. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed the information and the tour. And if you know of anything at all, anyone wanting to sell, just easily, quickly, Ike Property Group, that's your company to go with.
IkePropertyGroup.com, or you can email me directly at dave@IkePropertyGroup.com.
Thanks. Have a
you.
good one.